What's up, guys? I just want to talk a bit about limitations of the XYZ printer that I've got. It's a Duo 2.0, Duo 2.0A. I don't know what the A means. Anyhow, it's a twin-headed extruder, like so. So you can put a pair of different colours in it. It's power save mode, turns off some LEDs. The big issue I'm having now is I've just ordered a bunch of 3D printing filament. It just basically comes on a roll, like so. So I've got a bunch of that coming. And up until now I've only used the stuff that comes with them. When you buy a new roll, you get a little chip. That little chip there lives in there. Now when I was having some issues getting layer adhesion and stuff like that, people were telling me to turn the bed temperature up or down or do things like that. All of that data and control is stored on that little thing. That tells the machine what temperature to print at, what kind of material it is, what temperature the bed's got to be, what colour it is. So that tells the machine all of that info. So to put aftermarket product in it, gotta put the lock in. Like these cartridges are a good idea. Let's say a good idea, but probably overdone for what they need to be. So your cartridge has got to go all the way down in the back there. Then you get to feed him through. It's like a whippersnipper cord, it's so stretchy. But unlike PLA, it doesn't seem to break as easy. And then you go cartridge 2, load. See, without one of those chips in, it says that the cartridge is empty, and you can't actually load any filament into the machine. I'm assuming once the chip comes up and actually says how empty it is, you probably can't put it in there either. You've got to have this little lock in place to hold the cartridges down. For some reason it thinks it needs to bring the bed up every time you want to load a filament. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the process. So the cartridge thing, like, don't get me wrong, is a good idea, but the next 3D printer I buy won't be like this. It'll be just spools sitting up on top. Simple, effective. The other thing you got to make sure you do is keep lube on these runner rails, because when they dry out, they kind of dry out all of a sudden, and then it's just the brass piece rubbing on the rail, and it's kind of like moves along and then jolts and shakes the whole machine and makes a bunch of noise. So, like, in my opinion, while that deck's coming up for the whole, I don't know, 30-40 seconds that it took to come up, like, that extruder could be heating, and I don't know why they're not. Insert filament into extruder 2. So then you just simply feed it down this little tube, and you feel it bite hold of it. And at some point it should start pushing old filament out, and new filament should follow behind it. I know the print heads are extremely dirty. It just failed to print after a bit over an hour on me. Where is it? There it is. I started printing an Opus charger fan base, and for some reason it's struggled. So what I'm going to do is try masking tape, like painter's tape. So then I'll ask you if you want to keep, if you got filament coming out or not. And I normally do it twice, just so it pushes a bit extra out, so you don't have any of the old filament in there still. So the design of the Duo is a little bit silly. This is your second extruder's drip bucket thing, and it doesn't always fall in there, and sometimes it won't actually hit the knife. These little things are just knives. As you can see, it doesn't really go quite far back enough to flick that every time. So we might clean the nozzles now. Like the interface of it's pretty clever. I do like the interface of it. You can see it'll go back and forth over the knife. Hopefully this bed gets out of the way. So I'm going to go and find some blue painter's tape and lay some blue painter's tape out on the bed and see what happens when we use that. I've been told it works. I was also told that hairspray worked as well. If you've had any experience with any of them ideas, let me know, because I'm almost had enough of the glue. That's what all this is in the bottom that I've got to vacuum up before we do another print. That's all glue that I've shaved off because too much gets on there. So yeah, does any of my subscribers have one of these, or someone watching? Does anybody have XYZ printing davinci 2.0A? Because I'm looking at buying the flash module that you can buy off eBay, which you can apparently flash these little chips and set the parameters for everything yourself. I really just want to know that they're actually a thing and they actually work before I go and wait weeks for it to turn up from, I believe they were in America. Alright guys, thanks heaps for watching. Next time I print something that's a success, hopefully, and I'll let you know. Even just the heat from, I printed this in white obviously, but just the heat from the second head made a little bit of red come out, and you end up with scudgy stuff. There we go. You end up with a bit of red through it. But like it is printing some pretty good stuff. Here's a fine example. Bed stayed up the top because the last thing we did left the bed up the top. Now it's saying to clean the nozzles, and the nozzles are back there. So there's some silly things like that that happen. Let me know something that'll do, if you know of a printer that'll do like up to 500 by 500 in ABS as well. If you can think of something, drop it in the comments below, or if you've got an awesome printer that you think's worth me having a look at for the next one I buy, drop it in the comments. Thanks heaps for watching guys. Catch you on the next video.